So, my workstation is a little bit different than yours, but you'll be logging into, when you log into Windows, you're logging into IHAOR, right? At first, into Windows.
Yeah, it's not logged into IHAOR.
Okay, and then there should be an SPM icon, shortcut on your desktop. And so I've already opened it up. And when you log in to SPM, we'll just start from the basics. I'm not sure if any of you actually have opened this up or not, but you'll type in your EKHOR username, and then the password is EKHOR. And have to remember that we want to pull none instead of IHA because it's a generic login. So I can't even type that this morning. It's EKHOR. There we go. So this, if you've ever seen this message, this is has to do with having logged in or not logged off, and you can just not worry about it and hit OK. In SPM, there'll always be this window that shows up that says Choose Shift and Assignment. It's something that we could not get SPM to remove, so you just kind of choose your day shift and or nurses and continue on. It's designed to track time if you were using that kind of feature, but we're not. So unfortunately, that will pop up. And this will be the default that opens up for you guys in the OR. And really, I think the only thing that you need is OR delivery, because you don't pick case cards, do you?
We do.
Do you, would you, when you pick case cards, would you, you wouldn't pick them in the OR room, would you? You would do that out in the court?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can go over that as well. Let's talk about what you would do in the OR. You'd use this icon called OR delivery. And basically what you would be doing is, this is when you pull the case card into the room, or if you've called for instruments or peel packs or trays that you need in addition to what was picked for you. So what theater are you in?
Two.
I'm sorry, two?
Two, yeah.
So it's always going to be, you pick the room, you scan the item, whether it's a case card or an instrument, and then you assign it to a case. So we've got OR2, and then Carly, did you have a scanner and or
We
did
do
you
have,
have an item?
yeah, I have a pen here for us to scan.
Oh, okay, so since I'm doing it, I don't have a scanner. I'm going to show you the way to do it if your scanner breaks. And if you just give me the name on that set, I'll just use my app.
I grabbed set L extra journal.
With a EXTRA?
Yeah, XTRA.
Okay, so one thing you can do if you don't have a scanner is you can type part of the set name, and a search window will come up, and then, is it this one here, MISPAN?
No,
Did I
the
type
bottom
it
one,
right?
the bottom one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and is it set 1 or 2?
001.
001. So if you don't have a scanner, you can type part of the product name in SPM. We've changed from saying sets and trays, we're calling them products. And you can find your item, and then you pick set 1, you said? You select one, it shows selected, you process selected item. And then at this point, this is where the case assigning comes in. So you guys use Meditech, and do you have a slate that has barcodes on it?
Yeah.
So presuming that you already are in a case and you've asked for this set to come in, your case number is probably has been scanned by the MDR when they picked your case. So then you would this bottom of the screen, it's called process point history. So anything that has been scanned shows up in a list. So you will see things that have been scanned into other theaters. This is the first one of the day. Same thing if you have a case card. You would hit your theater, you would scan the case card, and the case assign process will happen as well. I'm going to undo this so that we don't have, so if you make a mistake, you have a certain amount of time to undo. It says, are you sure you want to undo the scan of this set? Yes. And do we want to revert it to sterile storage? Yes. So you wouldn't be really doing that. That's just so that it's not scanned.
How long do you have for that?
To undo?
Yeah.
That I don't remember.
Okay.
What I can tell you though is for scanning, you have 60 seconds to scan sets in that are connected to the case number that you first scanned. So let's say you have you have some peel packs in that set. You scan the first item in, you create the case, and so you scan the first item in. There'll be a little note here that says using case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you can keep scanning and you don't have to do that case assign every time. 60 seconds sounds like a short time, but when you are used to this, that goes very quickly. I mean, it doesn't go quickly. The scanning happens very quickly, and you can get that in 60 seconds. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's really all there is to it for case assigning. For in the room, when things are already picked for you, or you're bringing in an item. The case card, do you guys have any questions about that? Does it make sense?
Yeah. You'd
Makes
probably
sense.
just put the number on the case card rather than the or feeder. Like previously.
Sorry. I'm sorry, like you used to do, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, previously you had to scan the actual cart.
Yeah, it's a different order. You have to think room, item, case, number.
Are we using the same scanners we had previously, like that were attached to our computers, or is there a different scanner specific for this program?
Oh, the scanners are the same.
Okay.
They're using Meditech, so other sites that were not using Meditech had some issues with scanners, so they should all be the same and working.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we create a case in Meditech, does it automatically populate into this?
Sorry, I'm not coming in.
When we create a case in Meditech, does it automatically populate into this, or will a case show up?
No.
No.
No, there is an interface, and someday when there's a lot of money, we'll hope to get an interface between Meditech and SPM, but not right now.
Okay.
So the only time that you would see a case record in SPM is if it was already used,
Right.
and with the case card that you're bringing in. Before we go to this actual case cards, I'm going to show you the find tool, which is the magnifying glass at the bottom left-hand corner. And this is kind of nice because you can search for both products, which are sets and peel packs, and instruments. The searching is a little bit better than it was in Alex School. They call it a fuzzy search. So you can type in, I'll just put in Adson, and you can see all of the sets that have Adson in the name of it and all of the instruments. And maybe there's something else I should search because this is just a peel pack. Let's go do that. Stretch in set.
How about Reamer?
Yeah, something ortho.
Something what? Ortho?
They're
Yeah.
asking for Reamer.
Okay, so in this top piece, these are all of the trays or peel packs. And if you see the word, this says primary group here, if it says singles, then it's a peel pack. If it says anything else, then it is a set. So if we go to this convent drill reamer and click on this row, then we're going to get some information about the set. One is that there are 2 trays, -1, -2, and we get the current location. So this set is again on case card 5, and the second one is still in storage. So that's how you can find them and see how many there are in inventory. And then the also nice thing that they put in is little preview pictures. And these are good only if MDR has actually added a picture. So if you don't see a picture on a set, that just hasn't been added. But you can open this up by clicking, and you should have like photos or an application that opens this up. And I believe that we checked all the computers when we were there so that this happens. But if it doesn't, a window will open up and say, what do I want to open this picture as? And you can choose whatever it is in the list, and then at the bottom say, always use this application to open up. Hopefully you won't have that happen, it'll just open up automatically. So here's the picture of this, of what is attached to that set.
It's a lot more clear.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a good, I think it's much easier and less clunky than with Alex Gold to find these pictures. Also, if there's more than one picture, you'll see it'll be obvious there'll be another picture, and these arrows will go up and down. If for some reason you wanted to know where a set has been, where it's traveled, you can highlight this and choose recent scans. And you can see a list of how this set has been processed. So it's in storage now, it was in a cooling area following sterilization, it was in a steam sterilizer number 2, it was assembled. So this just shows the whole MTR process. And sometimes you might have a set that you do a clean return on. Excuse me. And that would show here. I don't know how much you would need to know this, but just to give you more information if you need it. Also, if you want to see what is in the product, besides looking at this picture, there are 2 ways. One is you can view edit the product. This is will be view only for you, and open up the recipe, and you'll see all of the items that are in that product. If for some reason you want something to print, just cancel out of this. You can print the count sheet. And this opens up like a PDF version. Let's go to another. That you can print out if you needed to.
Which saw do we have over? Do we still have a saw
Sorry.
for repairs, Brent? The
Sorry?
mini saws? Which saw can we look up?
We're just looking at saws for, we have set a saw that was up for repair. I think it's striker saw, and we're just wondering if it
Let's see
still
if it
is, and if
shows.
it shows it's
You
up
want-
for repair.
You want me to saw any other word?
Striker.
Striker? Is this the right one?
Looks like it.
Okay, so I highlight this row, and then you can see right now that there are 3 in sterile storage, 1 on a case card, 1 that has been sterilized and is cooling, and
sets are up for repair, any products?
If the MDR is scanning them to repair, I don't know what the process is, whether you would ever do that, but there is a process point that is repair, and then if it was, it would be under current location. You would see that. If, do you happen to know which, what it was, which index it was?
It was the striker saw for a while.
But it wasn't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which set?
We don't know that, sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah, no worries. If you did, you could highlight the row and go to recent scans and see the history. But currently, it doesn't look like it's in repair.
Okay.
But again, that is a process that has to be scanned to repair, and that would be MTR. If there were instruments here, you would also see the instruments listed below, like we saw with paper.
So,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
sometimes we have sets with missing pieces, would that show up on here? Like-
Sorry, can you
If the sets are missing pieces, does that show up in this interface?
Yes, it does. So here's a column called missing. And if there's checked, you know that there's something missing from the set. And although I haven't seen this in action yet, I was told by SPM you can either highlight or double click this area to get a list. So yes, you should be able to see that there are missing items. Good question. Anything else?
Anybody have any questions about that?
Oh, I have one other thing in searching. I don't know how much you pay attention to the old KG number, or not KG, EK number, the set number. If you do want to search for that, you have to type in the whole thing. It's not like Alex Gold, you used to be able to type in the last 4 numbers. You have to actually type EK 600 234 or whatever it is.
So now with out of country, like our screws in the USF set, are they in our documentation for implants? How does that work?
That, I think that is an MDR question.
Maybe
Ah.
Yeah, we charted Meditech, but wasn't it associated with Alex Gold? Right, like all the.
Well, if there are, whatever is in the tray would be listed in SPM for that tray. But like implants, just like a package, that would not be. It's not processed through MDR. Actually, I should say there are implantable items that are in trays, but I'm thinking you're talking about implants not that you get from MDR.
No, like screws in a USF set.
Screws, yeah, they should be marked as implants. Though. What's the name of the set?
USF. Universal Small Frame?
Small frag.
Sure.
Okay, not a set name. This just matches. What I typed just matches in the instrument.
For sure.
If you have an idea of,
Try USF.
sorry,
USF. What is that? Trace at
Yeah.
core.
this one,
Core one.
or this one, core.
Yeah.
Okay, so
liking what we see.
So this was all imported from Alex Gold. So this isn't new, but it's easier to view for sure.
It's very hard to find. I like it.
Oh, here's an example also of 3 pictures of the tray. So there are more superior screws.
Ooh, some
Yeah.
are missing. Can you look at that? Missing section.
Oh, yeah, let's see how that works. Sorry, like I said, I have not. I thought she just said you gotta click on it. Oh, view missing instruments. Here we go. View missing instruments. So this is what comes up here.
155.
This is for index 2, so the set 2. And if we look at the other one, let's see, missing instruments. It looks like the same thing. So nice. So if I highlight this row that didn't have the missing instruments, this view missing instruments button doesn't highlight. You have to highlight the row, and then that opens up. So there are 2 clues. There's a checkbox, but also if you highlight, you can see this button. Anything else? We can come back to it. Okay, the next item, this is actually for picking case cards. And in this case, I'm sorry, I didn't think that you guys built the case cards. But in this case, what you would do is you would start with a case card, and it would be sort of similar in that you would be you would be creating the case, and this would be a new case because it's building a new case card, and scanning instruments to it. I can send you some documentation, but I'm not prepared to, unless you have a case card.
Isn't that a working number?
Yeah. How often do you guys pick your own cases?
On the weekend?
On the weekend. On the weekend, I see. Okay. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna just show you where our documentation is, and then we'll go find that documentation. So if you were on InsideNet, you would go to clinical resources and surgical and infection control systems. That's the team that I'm on. And scroll down, and we still have this as Alex Gold, but it will take you to our resources documentation. This might be something to make a favorite. In the quick reference guides, we'll have a case assigned document. And so you'd scan the case card, and then this window, this is similar to that OR delivery window. You would create a new case, because it probably is not something that you can search for because you're not adding it to one that you're working with already. Similar window, case number will pop up. You choose the time that the case is happening. Maybe it's happening now, maybe it's an add-on. You can select add-on.
when the case is created, are we putting patient information in that so that we can track that way, or is it just a tracking number that comes up?
Oh, you mean on like on an ad?
Yeah,
Yeah, there is would you have the patient label at that time?
No.
There's a barcode with the
Sometimes.
account number.
potentially, potentially not.
Probably the booking reference number.
Yeah, I know that in Alex Gold at EKH, I saw the account number from Meditech that was
Yeah.
scanned in. So that would be the same thing that you would scan in, just like you did in Alex Gold.
Okay.
Anything else that we've talked about that you'd like me to go over again? Or have any questions about or concerns?
When do we go live?
We're already live.
Number when do we go live?
Now.
What's that?
Start
Would you like
race.
We're starting this today?